everybody. I'm just going to double check that my sound works well. Check, check. I think it does. I see it moving. Hi, and welcome to Memory Strokes Weeks 2 of Greece. Sorry, I've got water all over here. I cleaned my palette. So I hardly ever do this, but I would like to have clean blue paint for this week. As always, I am just going to watch the stream from Patreon on my phone just to make sure that I can actually hear it, that the link is there. That's always the struggle that I have, is I don't see the link even though I post it. And then when I try to play it back, it either doesn't play or it kind of doesn't have a link attached. I'm not really sure why it does that. But I've come up with a way to do this. So every time I have a Patreon update or a post of some kind, it emails me as well. Kind of like I email it to myself. So I'm able to go from there and watch the stream that way. Hopefully. Let's see. I see it and I see a link, but when I open it, this does this all the time, and I just don't know why it does that. So on the app, it's not the best place, but I'm hoping that when I go to patreon.com and put my page, that it'll show the link. There it is. All right, there it is. I see it. Okay, just have to make sure I'm watching it on YouTube as well. Okay, it says it's live. Let's check now. There we go. And I can keep an eye out on the comment section as well. So just move my phone up front. So if anybody comes in, I'll see them commenting because my screen is like to my right. Okay, so let's get back to Greece. I am probably not going to be on here for a really long time. It is 8:01, so I'm going to start literally right now. I'm going to quickly just go through and show you the little sketches and things that I've done on the last live stream, and I think very little off screen. So I made the flag, which I initially messed up because I had an extra line. So when I paint this, the background won't really show that much. I painted a little street scene. I'm kind of obsessed with the street scenes that have like a little cafe over here, maybe a little house. It's very crisp white walls. So I think the way to make them look very white will be to paint around. So like, I mean, maybe I have to make the background dark so that the white can stand out. I mean, it has like turquoise. I'm going to try to get this turquoise. That's really what I would like to have, this color turquoise for the door and the door jambs here for the window, this window and this door jamb here and these tables. And then this tree, I think it's bougainvillea again, but they're really, really bright pink flowers. Sometimes red, sometimes pinkish red, but I think they'll probably be really pink. And then this lamppost is black, but I don't know if I want it to be black. Maybe I'll just make it like a faded gray or something, so it's not too contrasty with everything else. And this is just kind of like a grayish color. So this is probably the first thing that I'm gonna paint today. I still have the pencil marks, but I did the liner on top and it's done. I did a little olive branch. Greece is known for being one of the bigger importers of olives around the world. I think they're number 3 or number 5 or something. So this is one that is basically done. I just have to again erase the background lines. This is Zakynthos, one of the views from the cliffs, which I showed in my last video. It just has like this, what's it called? Shipwreck on the beach, and it's kind of an alcove. surrounded by mountains and cliffs, and there's more water back there and more mountains. So I want to try to capture some of the landscape, a little more of the landscape. But this is super blue, light blue water. Again, I'm probably going to stick around the color of my nails. And then some of the background waters are deeper blues. But this is just kind of speedboats come up here on the beach and people get to check out this shipwreck. I'd love to go there. I don't know why. I'm just kind of obsessed with this place. I've got just the bones of one of the temples right now. Over here, I started sketching just very, very loosely. Mykonos, this is going to be probably my most challenging one. I want it to be most of the city. So all these little lines that you see there, they're going to become buildings and like the houses. And this is just the shoreline. And then the mountains, like very dry looking, arid climate right behind them. Which is weird to look at it like that because it's by the beach. So you feel like it shouldn't be as dry. But the mountain cliffside looks really, really dry. Just white stones and very dry looking grass, not very green, at least from my reference. So maybe it's just a time of year situation. I saw these pretty cool, what are those, windmills? They're supposed to be almost like ancient style. Um, the blades, they're not really blades. They're actually like just rods, it looks like 8 or 9 or 4, I guess, or 5 rods that crisscross and spin. And these houses, I don't know, they just look like they're made from, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just, I guess you just have to look up old windmills, Greece, and I think they're also in Mykonos. I have to check. But yeah, there's like a row of maybe 4 or 5 of them. So maybe I'll just draw like 3. I want to say this is also Mykonos. I'm not 100%. I have to double check, but I feel like it also was. And then I wanted something slightly different for Santorini. Also, sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. I know I don't have to apologize for them all the time. It's summer, so they're always around. I try to do this later in the day so they will be kind of watching a movie and relaxing, but it looks like they're still got to be talking at the top of their lungs even when they're sitting next to each other. So just ignore that. Santorini, I have painted before. I was looking for my sketchbook that I used last time. It is somewhere over there, but usually I only just focus on the dome church, but I really wanted to show a little bit of like, again, landscape. I don't know, maybe I must be in just this era where I want to see more of the picture except for just the subject. I want to see a little bit what's around the subject. And I think the view from these places, from the pictures I've seen of people looking out into the ocean, like there's a lot of that. You can just see for miles and miles and miles just water. I think that would be amazing to capture some of this. So I'm going to try to do that. But of course, like the iconic Blue Dome, you know, everyone knows as soon as they see this, Santorini. And then Amphores, I just made it, you know how I love to tell stories. So I wanted to have something that's more storyline based. And you could kind of just look at this and imagine the story. You know, they've got these amphores that they've made. I don't know the correct terms for pottery. My friend Annie does from, I'm forgetting, drawing a blank, Stories and Stoneware. She makes beautiful, beautiful pottery. And I don't know all the terminology, but basically you cook them or something, like you let them bake right to get them finished. And I'm sure you have to let them sit for a while first to dry, or I guess to set. Anyway, forgive me, I don't know specific terms, but you can follow Annie and you can find out all about this on her own Instagram or on her Patreon. But basically, my story is that one of them fell off, or maybe somebody bumped into it or something. So there's like this lone one here that got broken, but all the others are just standing up. They haven't been painted yet. So I'm thinking of making them a very deep terracotta color, to contrast with the background. And I kind of want most of this collection to be very blue, white, terracotta, blue, white, and light browns, maybe deep browns, so they can kind of all go together. And then this I never got to sketch anymore. It's very, very loose. This is like the amphitheater that has like a half circle, you know, the ancient version. This is all part of ancient Greece. So there's a huge amphitheater. There's that Balcony of Maidens, I think it's called, which is part of the, is it Parthenon? I think it's kind of part of all of those. There's a giant bowl of some kind of Greek salad. So, I have to paint food. So there's going to be a few food things here. I'm going to leave room for these two. And then this, I don't remember even where it is, but it's like an abbey or something, or it's like a town, not even maybe a town, like a little village that's like at the top of a cliff somewhere in northeastern Greece. Potentially, that's where more of the mountain range cities, I think, are. I want to say it's around there. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check my reference again. But I saw this on a video that's just about Greece, like an hour-long video. And if I remember what it is, I will tag it here. But it shows you like just aerial views of Greece all around, and I grabbed a lot of my references from that video. So not all of them, like I knew the name of places and I would research and see other references and stuff. So, but most of the ideas I got was from just watching. It's like a travel video, footage. It just kind of shows you about a country or a city or something. So this was really impressive. I never knew these were part of Greece. Like anytime I think of Greece, I think of like ocean, Santorini, like that kind of thing. I never thought of the mountain ranges and very, very high mountain cities are like way up there. Like you need to use like the ski lift things, like the gondolas to get there. There's no other way around it. It's super high up, but that's where we are right now. So now that I've recapped us, it's 10 minutes. Probably what I'll do first is maybe I'll do line art on some of these, and I will try to paint these second. I did bring some of these with me to Florida, but I never had a chance to actually do any painting this time around. So I'll try. All right, so I've got like my essentials. I brought all of these with me. Some of these I'm hoping to add like a punch of white to make them a little brighter. Shadows are going to be crazy because it's getting dark and I've turned on my little lamp here. So I don't know if this helps or hurts, but I might have to lift it up slightly so it's not like right on us. It doesn't cause too deep shadows. How is this? I feel like this is okay. It's not too bad. I'm going to try and diffuse it with my curtains. There we go. Maybe that will help. Oh, yeah. Just make believe. The homemade stuff are the ones that work the best. Okay, so line art. This is what we're going to do first. I'm going to leave all this off to the side. But I don't want to take too much time with the line art. I really want to, today, I want to paint. I think every time let me see, I'm going to move this over. It'll be a little crooked, so don't let that deter you. I'm going to try not to drop the camera. I'll just move it over here. I have to move my microphone over. Hopefully you can still hear me. So I can have this down here, and then I'll move this back like that. Maybe that's not going to help me. I need to turn this around this way. All right, because I always have to tilt my sketchbook over to the right, and hopefully the shadows aren't horrible. It feels like they're all up in my face. It's bothering me. Anyway, so we took a trip to Florida for 10 days to see my in-laws. Some of the information is more like personal, so I won't delve into that. Also, it's probably a trigger for a lot of people, but they're just not feeling well. They've been sick, both of them. So the challenge is really the fact that there is only a couple of people that are, hang on, yeah.
I know, like, I'm not super, I don't need a meal. I just need a, is it okay to
Get
have
some
a snack?
I'm gonna be
A
quick
snack?
today.
It's fine, yep. Okay, thank you.
Not a lot, because we're gonna have dinner soon. Sorry. So the struggle is that it's both of them at once. So that's challenging, of course. And then the siblings, my husband's siblings live in Florida and they've been taking care of the parents. So we here feel, at least I do, I'll speak for myself. I don't know how he feels, but I definitely feel like um, I could be doing more. Like I'm not doing my part of the helping because I'm so far away. So that's been a challenge. But of course, people have told me you can only do what you can do. Like you're not there in person. It's not your fault you're not there in person. It's not something that you should blame yourself for. Which I get all of that. I understand it, but my brain doesn't. Um, The brain doesn't care. Basically, the brain is like, you are horrible, you should help, you should do more, you should do this, you should do that. And even if it's not true, it is how it feels. So that was challenging. So getting there and seeing, them being weak and not like they usually are, and just in need of a lot of medical attention, it takes a toll. The siblings that are there, he has three siblings, so three siblings and their spouses have been kind of taking care of them. Um, and of course, there are nurses and things that are coming to help. So it's just a lot. And it was it was rough. It was not like um, what's the word? It wasn't like a vacation. Everyone just assumed Florida. Oh, yay! Did you go to Disney? Did you? No, none of the above. It was not that kind of trip. Um, the kids had a good time. We wanted to make sure the kids had fun. They got to spend time with their cousins and their uncles and aunts. It was just different. Obviously, everybody's mind was on other things. Um, but it wasn't bad. So the harder thing is just knowing like we're getting older. Our parents are getting older. These are my husband's parents. So immediately it makes me think of my own parents who are also getting old, and life is just lifing. So I've kind of allowed myself to not feel bad about not being online, not being social, not really talking to many people. I think I honestly really only talked to my friend Nula because we send each other voice notes all the time, and that was actually the only helpful thing. I couldn't send very long notes, but even just sending a few messages here and there and hearing how she was doing, all of that really helped. Also, the time that I was there, I wasn't off work. So I was working the entire time while all of that was going on. There's a really loud like noise outside because somebody's either mowing their lawn or has a generator running. I don't know, but hopefully it doesn't come through too loudly on this side. But it just feels like as soon as I hit record, noises begin. So it is what it is. We're gonna persevere. Like I said, today's gonna be a short one, so I want to just do what I'm doing and get downstairs and get kids some food for dinner. Got pasta to make. Everything else is ready. Just had to add the spaghetti and then we can eat. So that's where I was kind of not hiding, but that's where I was. For the last 10 days, I was very busy trying to just help out where I could. I worked early. So for Florida time, I got up at 7 a.m., which is kind of like similar to my time waking up here when I work from home. Um, in the during the school year, when the kids are, I have to get them up and stuff. I have to be up earlier than that. But then we leave the house like around 7. I used to leave the house because I had to drop them off and everything. The new school that's right behind our house, they're going to go, I want to say maybe a little bit earlier, but the little two will have a bus. So I won't have to worry about that. And then my oldest, he has to walk to school. So I feel like the first few days, maybe the first couple of weeks, I might go with him just because I don't know. He's never walked that distance by himself before. I'm sure he can do it. Like, I'm not afraid that he won't be able to do it or find his way or anything, but I'm like, you're still 10, okay? You're going to be 11 by the time school starts. And I'm not ready for that. Not fully ready for that. So I feel like my husband and I, either he will probably want to ride his bike with him the first day or first couple of days, um, or I don't know. I don't know what we'll end up doing, but I feel like he won't really go by himself, at least not the first couple of days. And after that, when he makes friends and he realizes some of them live in the same neighborhood, they'll probably start going together, ride their bikes together and stuff. So, yeah, it's just going to be interesting. The first 3 weeks are going to be interesting. And school starts sooner than it feels. I mean, it starts in mid-August or something. So that's actually very soon compared to the previous years. Usually they would start late August. I want to say like the 20 something. And this year it's like 16th or 17th or something. It's pretty early. earlier than usual for sure. So we have not a lot of time to actually get ourselves ready for school. I do have to get backpack, school supplies, and all that stuff together, which yeah, it's always fun. Um, anyway, so I feel like this is slightly a podcast, slightly a live stream. So hope this entertains you. I'm just gonna keep talking because I have things on my mind. What else? I've really, really enjoyed researching this collection. I feel like Greece is one of those places that I don't know for people who haven't been, other people like me who haven't been. Like, if you ever see this, are you somebody who feels like you miss a place you've never been? Like, does that make sense? I feel this deeply about Greece. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I miss it as though I'd been there, but I mean, obviously, I know I've never been there, and it's very strange, but I feel like that. It's like that longing feeling, very bizarre, and I'm aware it is quite bizarre, but yeah, it's it's kind of how it's always felt for me. So I don't know how I didn't immediately paint Greece. Honestly, I'm surprised it took almost 2 years because, like, literally, I was thinking about this the other day. This is my second year. I'm nearly at the 2 year mark. Basically, in August is when it'll be 2 years since I started the memories collection. Um, it's really, really weird to think about like that. Also, while I was in Florida, at some point I was at my one of my sister-in-law's houses, and she's the one. The last time I was there for 6 weeks or something, we spent 2 weeks at her house, and um, the idea for the memories collection actually came to me while I was at her house. And I didn't realize this until I was sitting down there by the pool the other day talking to Nula, and I was just staring at the water, thinking, "Oh, this is familiar." And I realized, wait, last time I sat here, I was trying to figure out how to make this happen, what I'm doing now. I was debating whether I was making any sense, whether it was a good idea to even do this. Like, should I change my whole business around? I don't know if this is really my voice. Like, I don't know if it's going to work. Are people going to understand this direction? Are they, like, is it going to work? Am I good enough to even paint like this? I just thought all the things, and I worried so, so, so much. Um, and I remember like sitting down talking to a few friends and kind of explaining what was on my mind that I was trying to do, and sketching it out because when I was trying to explain it, people didn't really understand what I meant initially, and I couldn't really explain it properly either because I was like, my brain was fogging, and also like the passion, I felt like my blood was boiling. I was so excited about it, but it was too difficult to actually verbalize what I had in my head. And so um, I sketched something out, and I don't have that sketchbook up close, or I would show you. But I sketched what I was doing. Like, I was sitting by the pool, kids were fighting over this one flamingo toy, and I remember just painting it, and I just remember thinking, "Ugh, I'm gonna want to remember this." And I painted the flamingo, and I painted the something else. I had a glass of wine by the pool, so I painted that. And I think the next day or that morning, my sister-in-law would go out every day and come back with donuts. I was like, "Stop feeding these kids donuts." She's like, "Oh, they're on vacation. Leave them be." And she'd come back with donuts. And so I think I attempted to paint a donut. This is from when I couldn't really paint anything. Well, not that I couldn't, but I wasn't very versed at it. Hold on, now I'm very intrigued because I need to find that sketchbook so I can show you, because my brain is not going to function until I do. I feel like I have to I wish I've kept it right here. I feel like I have to reminisce. Here it is. Okay, check it out. Interlude. It is 8:23. Short interlude, okay? This is the sketchbook. I bought this from Mrs. Stephanie Bales in San Diego. Just stumbled on her shop. Talked about this before. But this is how this whole thing began, right? I used to paint these castles. You guys remember these castles? If you were on Instagram, you remember these. Look how long ago this was, 2022. This is 3 years ago. Is that wild or what? I would just go live on Instagram for an hour and paint something. No sketch. I just dived right into it. And then I added line art after. And that kind of changed. And I think this really sparked the passion, and I started deciding that that's kind of what I want to do. These little scenes, these little travel tidbits. I couldn't really formulate, but once I did, I tried painting fried plantains from my country. This was in April 2023, and then in June or July when we went to Florida, I started thinking about memories, and I was like, what if I made something similar to like a postcard idea? And it would look something kind of like this. And I remember just grabbing my palette and my sketchbook and this book and just attempting something super quick. Like there's no pencil lines here anywhere. I just went right in with a pen, paint, and this isn't even watercolor paper. This is like printer paper. So of course I couldn't blend anything, but I imagined it really like one of those souvenir shop postcards where you have like the names of what the things are, where you can go check out stuff in town. And how wild is it that it all started July 2023. I honed in this idea, and now we have these. Like, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? 2 years ago. I think it's wild. So when I was back at that pool, the flamingo's long gone and dead, rested soul. But I was at the same pool and I was sitting out there with a glass of wine again. No donuts this time. But I remember just thinking, man, I can't believe that 2 years ago, this is where I wanted to be. Sandra from 2 years ago, she would not believe one that I was still doing this because she was convinced this was a foolish idea, that it wouldn't work, that it was a nice try, like it was a good idea, but I think she just thought no one's really gonna buy that. No one's really going to, sign off on it and like be, I don't know, interested. I don't know what the right word is, but it was really hard on myself. And I was very nervous. And then I thought, I'm just gonna do it. I'd rather do it and fail than not do it and wonder. So I just jumped right in. And honestly, I've I've had such a blast making these. I've sent them to patrons every month since I started in September of 23. I started drawing right when I got home. So that was July. And in August, I spent the entire month of August painting Memories of Boston and advertising and talking about it. And I mean, you saw the launch and everything. So I just feel like it's crazy where it started and where it is now. Um, and I'm kind of amazed that I kept going and that I actually made it this far. I don't know what number this is. I feel like I need to keep track of how many I've made so far and maybe write down a number somewhere. But yeah. All right. It is now 8:37. I have not heard from my husband downstairs yet, so he's trying to surprise the kids with something. So while he's doing that, I was like, well, I'm gonna go upstairs and do my paintings. I might not do a full hour, but at the very least, I've got a few paintings that can be started. So I'm gonna start them. So I think I'm gonna try and do these four. It's a tall order to do in 20 minutes, maybe less, but we're going to try and we'll get as far as we'll get and we'll continue next time. So I have plans to go live on Instagram during the week. Very loose plans because I don't know how my week is going to be, how it's going to feel, how tired I'm going to be from getting back to work. We're back to work tomorrow. And the kids aren't really going to bed at a regular time like they used to. I'm kind of letting them loose over the summer. Sometimes they go to bed early-ish, not really early. Most days they are still up pretty late. So trying to paint late at night is more like put a movie on and then I can come. But if I do that, it'll be on Instagram. So I know a lot of you already follow me there. So you might see me work on some of this over there. Just a heads up. But I kind of try to do more of the backstory and storytelling in here because I'd like for that to stay exclusive to you guys as much as I can make it. So, yeah, here we are. All right, so I need a light blue and I need a pretty dark blue for the map, not the map. Oh, I should have made a map. Boo. Greece is hard to paint though because there's so many teeny tiny islands. Okay, so let's think logically. This is purple. Maybe I'll add a little purple, make it darker. Oh, it's actually not purple. It's the deep blue. That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, so I want to make this collection the last one before I do new enamel pins. Now this is back to Patreon stories. Hang on, what does this flag look like? Before I go and make a whole mess of things here, let me just double check that. Please, oops. I think the bottom one is blue, but I don't want to mess up. Okay, the bottom is blue and the top is blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I got it correctly. Yeah, so these are blue. Is this supposed to be both? There's a square right here. This is supposed to be a square. I can hear my kids in my ears. Like I've put on my headphones so that I can hear the live stream to make sure it's not too loud and I can hear the screaming. I'm so sorry. I have told them I'm live and I have asked them to keep it down, but yeah, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. Okay, so this is where I messed up the flag because it has like a white cross in here. And then these are supposed to be the equivalent of 2 lines. Then this one's 1 line. Then this is supposed to be 2 lines again. So I don't think I did this right. But then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath. That can't be right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where I went wrong, but something looks wrong to me. And I can't figure out what it is. All right, I'm going to try doing this one the top down instead of trying to do both. But I feel like I've already messed this up. I might have to redo this flag. And then the middle one is blue. And we'll see what happens once it's done. If it looks like anything. If it looks all wonky, I'll redo it. I have redone stuff before. I'm not afraid to start over. I'd rather it be right than looks weird. All right, so blue, white, and this bottom is supposed to be blue, but I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Something doesn't look right. I don't know why it looks wrong. I'm not sure. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, and then half of this. It's half. Half is white and half is blue. So I'll make this longer. And then we'll just keep going. We'll just go with it. Because this is what my reference looks like. This part is blue. And then this is white. This one's white. It doesn't look right over here. I'll have to fix it with some white paint after. Oh my God, they're just gonna keep getting louder and louder. I'm sorry. Maybe I should close my door. Okay, then it's white, and then I have one blue here. And there's one more. There's one more at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one last one right there. That's what we'll do. I'll add that here. All right, if anybody's Greek, please forgive me. I thought I had it and I was like, what? What did I just do? Yeah, I got myself wicked confused here. All right, so I'll let this dry. Come back and add more, and then we will clean up this cross. Make sure it makes sense and it is accurate. Do it like that. And then I'll do line art. I'll add line art at the bottom of this. Cool. All right. I need now this to be a lot lighter. And I'm debating how to make it into a turquoise, whether I'm adding lots of green or light yellow, or if I'm just gonna blend this until I get a decent-ish color. Get this. Make sure it's really saturated, and also it's getting better. It's still looking very green though. And we'll see what I get here. I have a lot of water. Wait, that's not bad. It's close to my nail. It's not exact, but it's close. I kind of want it to be close to my nail color. I feel like it needs more white for that to work, but this white is not clean. Try it. See, that kind of works. Moment of truth. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna do it. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna have to do this in layers. So in the reference, this is actually a deeper blue, like more of that blue, the same as the flag. But I don't want everything to be dark blue and white, so I'm gonna mix match, and I'm gonna throw in some of my signature color in there, and I will mix it. Sometimes I'll mix it with the blue, sometimes I'll leave it to be like this. And 37. All right, I think we're gonna do.
I'm gonna make myself a croissant because I'm hungry. Thank you.
Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna finish this one and then I'll come down. Yeah, babies need to eat, so I'm gonna go make the pasta. Wow, they're still screaming at each other instead of just talking. Why is this? Why is this how boys just talk just loudly? Hang on, sorry about that. Shh. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's at least finish this one thing, then I can go. But I think I finally have the perfect blue. Perfect one. This is exactly what I want. And why don't we make this door the same? This, yes, no, maybe. No, not the lamppost. Leave the lamppost. Maybe I'll leave that to be like a charcoal gray. But I think this works. This is cute. I'm very happy. All right. Let's see. Am I doing anything else in this color? Nope. I'll leave that for other things. This is probably going to be the water on this side. Okay. Just need a little bit as soon as it dries to show like the shadows. And I need to put a difference between what's in front versus what's in back, what's in shadow and what's not. So parts of the top are in shadow. This portion is definitely in shadow, so this will be darker. The bottom of the tables, maybe part of the top of the table, like that. This door, I might just do this portion here darker. Let that dry. I'll throw in this window. Okay. And then I can't touch this because it'll blend in, but I do think I can do the tree. Maybe a little portion of that back tree. Like this. And then I can come back and do the, I'll come back into the flowers. These come to life so fast. It's so interesting. Okay, so deep shadows. Some areas are going to be darker than others. So I'll make this probably like a silver. Maybe not like silver, but I feel like, I don't know. I want it to be light, but I'm going to have to keep it the way my reference looks. It's like, it's a lot darker. So I'll have to make that work. And then I need to just throw in some shadows on these walls. But the walls are going to be stark white. Stark, what's the word I'm looking for? Stark white. I feel like I can't speak when I'm rushing. And these cobblestones, typically they're, well, at least my reference, they're kind of like a light gray, but they're basically white as well. I'm going to make some of these browner, more brown. Okay. And I think for the lamppost, I'll have to just layer it little by little so I don't, so it doesn't all bleed too much. I'll just do little layers and add some here and there. Like right now it's still wet. I should have left it alone. And it should be okay like that. We'll do the light after, at the very end. Already not bad, right? This is already looking like something. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna do, this is dry, so I'm not gonna touch that. Leave it be. I'm gonna do the olive branch. So the olive branch is not like super green. It's an olive green, I was gonna say. It's a little between what we call army green and this light green. I feel like this is close to what the leaves color is. So, and then the other side is like a deep, like hunter green almost. So I'll do one side and then I'll do the other afterwards. After this dries, I'll do the second side. And then the olives are actually a lot deeper and darker green than the leaves. At least is how I saw them. And you know something is funny is when I went to Turkey and we went to Ephesus, there are olive trees everywhere. So the Turks and the Greeks, I don't know if they don't get it. There's like a feud, a country kind of feud where it's like, do not confuse us for one another. And one of my sisters-in-law is Turkish, so I do not want to offend her. But I saw these everywhere, so I'm actually basing my reference a little bit from that because of the similarity in, I guess, landscape and where they are on the Mediterranean, not Mediterranean, like the Aegean Sea. The climate's very similar, so I think what grows there is very similar. And so my thinking for the olives, or I guess my understanding of how they look, is based on my trip to Turkey. I've never been to Greece, but I've been close, and it kind of feels like that's how they look. Probably I will make them a bit darker than this. And again, I should have waited. I'm so impatient tonight. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm rushing to go cook, so it's time for the pasta. And I bet you all get there and my husband's already made them. Then I'll feel really bad. So I will probably pause right here. These don't look done at all. They're nowhere near. But we've just got a little bit of color on just for now, just get ourselves going. And I think we're in good shape. So once this first layer dries, I'll come back and do more. I'm afraid to turn the page because I'm afraid, see, things are already bleeding because I'm rushing too much. So I will come and do this side because I need to mix different types of colors. I already have this blue. All right, I used it and then I mixed it, but I will make another one. This is almost like the same exact blue as that, or I guess it is the same exact blue as that. I'm really happy with this one. When the pink is added, it'll just make everything fit, and then I'll have to do a different color for the sky. I'll find like a lighter blue color. And then, yeah, I'm very happy with this. Yeah, and then this one, I might do, it's supposed to be like this, just bright blue, but I want it to be different from the ocean, so I'll have to look at the reference and see how they line up. Maybe the ocean is more of a grayish blue, or like lighter, closer to the shore, and then it gets deeper. So I'll work on that. Yeah, so if I don't get to work on this tomorrow after work, it's fine. I just wanted to start something. So I know this is shorter than normal, but 45 minutes is already all I could do. I could only paint for 30, or draw for 30, because I give you a recap for like 10 minutes. So I know it's pretty short, but I just wanted at least to catch you up on how I was, where I've been, how it was going, how I'm doing. I am doing okay. I am actually much better today. So if you're one of the people who has been checking on me by text and stuff, I really appreciate it. I am good. I have really missed drawing and painting, so I really wanted to get a few minutes in tonight. If I am able to come back later tonight, I might just do this on Instagram. So if you see me live, I will say the first part is on Patreon. If you're a paid member, you can find it on Patreon. And then the second part, the next live stream will be Saturday. I think I picked 1 p.m. because I have something happening earlier in the morning. And it's with other people. So like, it's not just me. So I can't really just adjust it. So that's the time that I will be going live. Oh no, I think this thing is dying. Is it finally dead? It's finally dead, I think. I don't know why I'm trying to correct this right now. I can't really do it right now. I'll have to do it later. But it's okay. We'll work it. We'll fix it. And we'll make it nice. I have this. I have white paint as well. I have like a super, super white paint. What is that? An ant. Ugh. Little ant got in my office. How did you get in here? Yeah, I have like white gouache. Maybe that's what I'll do to make these pop. I'll add white gouache at the end. Okay, enough talk. I am gonna end here. Look how close. This is so close. I did a good job mixing these paints. Proud of myself. But anyway, thank you so much. Next Saturday, I think 1 p.m. Between now and Wednesday, I'll send a confirmation just to reiterate, and I'll send pictures to show those who couldn't be here live what the live is about and what I got done. If I'm able to later tomorrow night after work, if I'm not exhausted from work, I might come live and paint a little bit on Instagram. I might just kind of do it randomly throughout the week, depending on what days I have time and availability and opportunity. But I think what I'll basically do is just leave my desk the way it is, set up as it is, so that if I feel the need to go live, all I have to do is turn on the camera. I might even leave my webcam connected, and I'll just, send a message on Instagram and say, hey, I'm going live and I'm painting. If you're free, come hang out. I might do one that's just open to all on my YouTube, which is terrifying, but I might do that. So be on the lookout. If you see me anywhere, just jump in when you can. Oh, look at this. I knew I was going to mess this up. But anyway, until next time, enjoy this. Thanks for watching. Tell me which ones of these you're looking most forward to seeing completed. It is going to be a beautiful collection. I'm so excited to have some of these colors kind of repeated throughout, but I feel like this is basically the palette, I feel like it's very much this and a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Some of these bright pinks, I might nudge them in here. I might put them on a boat. I might put them on a plate or something, maybe a rooftop or whatever. But that's it for now. So thank you so much. And again, enjoy, and I'll see you next Saturday to finish this collection. I will be painting throughout the week, whatever I can get done, sketching a bunch. I'll do my best to send you pictures from my phone as I get those done. And yeah, I'm excited to get done with this and print it and pack it all nice and ship it out. So I'll see you soon. Bye.